Lesson 8. The Arjuna Tree. Agrahan was almost over and the month of Pusa was just round the corner. It was not cold enough yet for the sun's warmth to be welcome. The ripe paddy crop in Bishal Mehto's farm had been harvested the previous day. All day along with the harvesters and casual grain pickers, Ketu Shabar too had been collecting the leftover grains of paddy in the fields. His wife Mohani was not with him. She came to the fields only when he was not around. Ketu was frequently in and out of jails. His offense was clearing the jungles for the paddy crop. It was no use trying to reason with Ketu Sabar about this. Ram Haldar gave him the job and Ketu did it. Haldar collected the profits from the felled trees and Ketu and others like him went to jail. But what could he do? All that mattered was the 4 pies at the end of the day. Ketu did never question his predicament. If you were born in the Sabar tribe of Purulia, you had to cut down the trees and you had to go to jail. It could be no other way. If one Ketu was in jail and something needed to be done, Haldar could always find another Ketu. Nothing lost, except that the woman in the house had to go looking for work. The last time Ketu had been jailed for cutting down the trees of the forest department, Mohani had gone out looking for work. Lost in reverie, Ketu was suddenly confronted by Bishal Mehto. "I have some work for you," he said. "Is it about the votes, Babu?" No, I'm not worried about that. The people will have to elect whoever I nominate, won't they?" "Haan, Babu. Well, what did Ram Haldar tell you?" "The same thing that you said." "And what was your reply?" "Just what I told you." "What kind of answer is that?" "I'm just a fool, Babu," said Ketu. "Never mind. There is something I want you to do. Are you interested?" Ram Haldar and Bishal Mehto belonged to different parties. But for Ketu and his companions, they were two of a kind. One had to appear dumb whenever they were around. Both these deities had to be pleased if one were to make a living in this area. But who among them would dare to say no to these party members? Haldar and Mehto too knew that the Sabars were indispensable. They held the world record for jail terms after all. Now Bisal Mehto had indeed managed to arouse Ketu's curiosity. Elections were around the corner. Bisal Babu had been busy attending meetings and giving speeches. So if the matter didn't concern votes, what could it possibly be? "You have to cut down the Arjun tree," Bisal said. "Why, Babu?" Ketu was startled. "Just do what I say." "Please, Babu, I have just come out of jail, Babu." "If I wanted to send you back, would you be able to prevent it?" asked Bisal Mehto. "No, Babu. Babu. This is not like one of Ram Haldar's contracts. Only through his legal operations you land in jail. Who'd dare to arrest you if I ordered the removal of the tree from the main intersection at the government road?" Ketu's mind went blank. He had never thought about it. But it was true. You worked for Ram Haldar and you promptly got caught. That meant another trip to the jail. But Bisal Babu's word was law. He actually ran the country. So who would send you to jail if under his instructions the shade-giving tree no longer stood upon the government road? An idea flashed through Ketu's mind. "Babu, are you making a Pakka road this time to ensure that you get the votes?" "Pakka road? Here? Ketu, you must be mad. It has not happened in 30 years, and it won't happen now. No, I need the tree. A full-grown tree. Yes, the whole Arjun tree. And how will you transport it?" "In Ram Babu's truck. What else?" Bisal Mehto and Ram Haldar belonged to two different parties. But only in word did they represent opposite camps. One conducted the panchayat, the other ran the sawmill just outside the borders of the district. If one ordered the Arjun to be cut down, the other happily provided the transport to carry it away. Hi, the tree couldn't be saved. It was the only surviving relic of the Bandihi jungles from the Zamindari era. It still evoked memories of the past in the minds of Ketu and his friends, when the jungles were not jungles in name only. The Shahbars had been forest dwellers. Gone were the days when they scampered off like rabbits into its dark depths the moment they heard or saw a stranger approaching. Was that why they had been identified as Khedia Shahbars in the census records? The elders of the tribe still revered the Arjun tree. They believed that it was a manifestation of the divine. Now Ketu was to be responsible for its death. Yes, Babu, I'll cut it down, Ketu Shahbar said. He stretched out his hand for 10 rupees. What a strange evening this was. He was even given what he had asked for. Ketu was deep in thought. He went to look for his friends, Banmali, Diga and Pitambar, to see if they could offer a solution. What a predicament! Cut the tree. You went to jail. Don't cut the tree. You still got jailed. What was the Shahbar to do? This prosperous village of Bandihi sat where once the jungle used to be. Now it fell under the jurisdiction of the forest department. But, of course, the Shahbars didn't have any claim to it. After much contemplation, Diga said, "So why should we alone take the blame? Why should only the Shahbars get trapped in a false case? I am going to tell the others. After all, they too revere the Arjun." Pitambar asked, "For how long has the Arjun been guarding us?" "That one tree is the entire jungle for us and for our few families, the children of the forest. Now Mehto wants that very tree? What can we do? Everything belongs to Bishal Babu and Ram. Till we built our huts, we lived under the Arjun. Later Mehto gave us land to build our huts." Pitambar went on. Diga put in his bit. "Didn't the Santhals come to it for shelter and consolation after Haldar had burned their shanties?" One by one, they began to recall stories about the Arjun tree. Each one realized that their lives and fate were inextricably linked with that of the Arjun. Society and the system had continually persecuted, exploited, and almost obliterated this handful of tribals from the face of the earth. Now the same fate awaited the Arjun tree, the last mute symbol of their existence. "Bishal Babu is going to town. We must collect the cash from him before he leaves," said Diga. "You will cut the tree then. 5 people should be enough to do the job. Well, ask for 100 rupees. What do you say?" Against the backdrop of the deep blue sky, the majestic Arjun tree stood with its head held high, like a guardian of the village, keeping vigil from its lofty post. Once upon a time, this land used to be guarded by hundreds of leafy sentinels. One by one, they disappeared, leaving no trace. Only the Arjun was left now. All around boomed the sound of the dhol dhamasha dhamak and the strains of the nagara. An agitated Bishal Mehto rushed into the village. A huge crowd had gathered around the Arjun. Its trunk was covered with akhand garlands. Ram Haldar was standing at the perimeter of the crowd, holding on to his bicycle. "What's happened?" asked Mehto. "The Gram Devta has made them to do it," answered Haldar. "What? Which ill-begotten fellow says so?" "Diga had a dream, it seems. You paid him money in the dream and instructed him to build a concrete base around the trunk. People from all the tribes, Santhal, Khedia, Sohish, Bhumij, have now gathered to make their offerings." "To the Gram Devta?" "Yes, and the crowd have not stopped coming. There is practically a mela on. We'd thought these fellows were fools, but they have made fools of us, Mehto." Bishal stepped forward to taste the full flavor of his defeat. What a stupendous crowd! Ketu was dancing like a maniac, going round and round with his dholak. Bishal was suddenly afraid. This tree, these people, he knew them all. He knew them very well, and yet they seemed like strangers today. Fear, an uncomprehending fear, gripped him.